grass people are very loud. Hello, welcome back. So today we'll be discussing a very important topic, a very serious topic that I haven't really heard much about until I experienced it. And that topic is postpartum anxiety. I just wanted to kind of talk about this and kind of create that conversation with you guys because I didn't know it existed again until I started going through it. And it is just as serious as postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. Like, why has no one brought up postpartum anxiety? I think it's very common. And I could be wrong, but I think you can have more than one at the same time. Like, I think I might have had more than one at some point with one of my kids. But today, we're going to talk about postpartum anxiety and basically my experience with it, some symptoms that I experienced that I kind of started to educate myself on, as well as ways that helped me overcome it. So I do want to start off with saying that I do have general anxiety. So if you watched my labor and delivery video, then you know that I touched on the topic of like my dad passing away and them diagnosing the baby with IUGR while I was 7 months pregnant. And so that was the beginning, I think, of my anxiety, right? But after I gave birth, after the initial bliss and just euphoric moment of just having a fresh baby has passed, then I started to realize that I was exhibiting some weird symptoms. So I think normally we worry about our baby. Normally we don't really get much sleep. And we know that our bodies just went through something traumatic, something very big. And so we are not ourselves, like at all, after having a baby. But I started to notice that things were like extreme. Like my anxiety was like extreme. I did not trust anybody with the baby. Like I hardly trusted my husband with the baby. I did trust him to an extent, but I felt like I was the only person who needed the baby. I felt like I was the only person who the baby needed and who the baby was safe around. I was not comfortable with being away from him under any circumstance. I could not sleep. I would jump up every couple of minutes, like looking for him, panicking even. And so I would have these irrational fears of just like the most extreme cases, if I had to be honest, like unlikely to happen cases, but I genuinely thought that these things would happen to the baby, to the kids. There were moments where I truly thought that some freak accident, like no matter what scenario, we'll be going to the park, we'll be getting in the car, we'll be walking near a store, right? And I would think of the most extreme thing happening to us, like some Final Destination type stuff. Like I really thought these things would happen, and I would panic and I would be anxious and I could not function and I did not want to leave the house. It got that bad. No one was allowed to hold him besides me and my husband for the first couple of weeks. You could come see the baby, but you couldn't hold the baby. I genuinely thought that my entire family would die. I thought everybody was going to die. Something was going to happen. Some freak accident was going to happen. Someone was going to come into the house. Like I was just so scared. And so I guess those are a few of the signs of postpartum anxiety. Is like constant feelings of being uneasy, thoughts of impending doom, thinking something bad would happen. Everything is dangerous. Everyone is dangerous, right? Waking up every morning, or just waking up in the middle of the night, just waking up, right, in a panic. I just thought, like, what happened? Like, did something happen while I was asleep? That's how bad my anxiety was. And then I realized that it started to manifest itself in, like, physical ways. So I would, like, shake. I would have headaches. I would be tired, more tired than I already was. My heart would race. I would have heart palpitations. Again, I was very shaky, very easily startled. And you could tell that it was the stress of it. The fight or flight response that I was constantly in, it was having an effect on my body, and it was affecting my healing after I had the baby. And after my husband went back to work, it got almost unbearable because I was afraid to be alone. I would type in the scenarios and I would say that I was postpartum into the Google search engine. And I remember just postpartum anxiety popping up. And I was like, now I knew I had anxiety, but I did not know that there was a thing called postpartum anxiety. And although I know what anxiety feels like I've had general anxiety almost my entire life, postpartum anxiety is like a different beast. Like it's like, for me, it was like general anxiety, like on steroids. And so I'm going to share some things that helped me out. I think educating myself on it was something that truly helps because it made me feel like I wasn't alone and that what I was experiencing was normal. and that something wasn't truly wrong with me. And so that's really the first tip in like helping me with my postpartum anxiety, and that's educating myself on all of the things that you go through postpartum. So knowing that these are the symptoms and that there was a name for what I was going through, and that what I was going through was something that other people had went through, and that it was normal to experience these things. Another thing that helped was every time a thought would come across my mind, every time a dangerous thought would come across, every time I felt anxious, I would express it. I would put a name to it. I would tell someone. I would like express it, because I think not saying anything and just silently suffering can make it a lot worse and can make it harder to deal with. And I don't think you should deal with it alone, and I don't think you should bottle it up. I think you should reach out, which is my next tip. Having conversations with other people, your support system, your spouse, could be a sibling, a friend. What really helped me was talking to other moms, other seasoned moms, that had also gone through some of the things that I had gone through, and just helping me and just reassuring me that everything was okay. So talking to other moms or just reaching out to your support system is something that can be really helpful. It's a very small gesture, but it is very effective. This is kind of biased, but I can't go without saying it because it truly helps me, and that's praying. Praying to God about, just healing me, healing my children, protecting me, protecting my children, just praying over everyone. My faith is something that I hold really close to me. So that's something that I'm going to include in helping. Therapy. Therapy. This is the top of the top. This is the most important tip that I can give you, and that is seek therapy. I started going to therapy 6 weeks postpartum. I started having really scary thoughts, and they started to get even more scary. One day I was just sitting down, right? I was nursing the baby, and I had just put him to sleep. And then I had a thought that maybe I should just go jump off a bridge. Like, I literally had thoughts of like jumping off of a bridge into the water and just drowning. That's a scary thought. Like, that thought truly scared me, to the point where I immediately went and found a therapist, because that's not healthy. Although I knew I wasn't really going to do that, just knowing that I was having those type of scary thoughts, I'm like, yeah, no, I need to seek professional help. So I started going to therapy at 6 weeks, and I currently still go to therapy. I felt, after the postpartum anxiety subsided, I just continue with therapy because it is beneficial for like my general anxiety. So therapy is just something that you really should look into having ready, or going to before, during. It's just go to therapy. Everybody go to therapy, pregnant or not, go to therapy. Going outdoors, looking at the trees, feeling the grass beneath my feet, getting out the house, getting some air, it's just really helped. Again, it was the simple things for me that really grounded me and kept me feeling calm. Having all of these complex racing thoughts, just sitting in simpleness like nature, just was just something that really helped me, that really kept me calm. Getting some sunlight, because sunlight helps with depression and just like your mental health overall. So if you can, go outside, get some air, that helps as well. Taking care of yourself, self-care is so important as well. Like, take a shower, give the baby to your spouse, give the baby to whatever support person you have, or just while the baby sleeps, just take some time to yourself and just do something that just makes you feel better, like taking a really nice long shower, or doing a skincare routine, going to get your nails done, feet done, go get a massage, like anything really that makes you just feel good. I think you should really prioritize feeling good. And although it feels kind of indulgent, and it feels kind of like it's not a necessity, it's more so a luxury, it actually is an essential that you take care of yourself and you do things that you enjoy, and that you do things that make you feel good, because that's really the only way you can function and refresh yourself. So that's very important. Don't see it as a luxury. Don't see it as a privilege. It is a necessity. And last but not least, time. Time was just something that I think heals all wounds, really, especially anything postpartum, because a lot of that is hormonal. A lot of that is just what your body is just going through as you recover from childbirth. So just knowing that you'll be better over time, things will get better as baby gets older, as you start to heal. it'll start to go away. It'll start to ease. I am at a much better place now. Like, it gets better. Like, if you are postpartum, if you're expecting and soon to be postpartum, just know that whatever you are going through, whatever you are about to go through, it will get better. That is just a very small part of motherhood. That is just the beginning of motherhood, right? So it'll pass. You will be okay. Your baby's healthy. You're healthy. Like, affirm yourself. These aren't my thoughts. It's the hormones talking. It's not my rational self talking. Just because you think it doesn't mean that it's true, doesn't mean that it's your thoughts. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. So you have to constantly kind of try to block out those thoughts and kind of tell yourself these things. And if it gets to a point, right, where it is just too hard to bear and you just can't handle it, then I do suggest you seek medication. You get medicated. I personally, I did not want to take medication, but that's not to say that there's anything wrong with medication. Whatever helps you to be your best self, to be the best mom you can be, to recover the best way you know how, do whatever it takes, because at the end of the day, your well-being and baby's well-being is just what's most important. So that pretty much wraps up this video. I just wanted to talk about, this topic because I felt it was very important. It is something very important to me. It is an experience that I think a lot of us have gone through that we may not have even realized that we have gone through. So I wish you guys a very beautiful, beautiful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.